Do you feel we should have got 40 acres and a mule when they freed us?
We ain't never been free.
Oh, man. That's some
Free
shit.
what? Free to do what?
That's some...
Free to go get a white man's job and go watch some football and watch some basketball and buy a little old jewelry? Free? Free to do what? You don't make no law. You don't manufacture nothing. You don't produce nothing. So where's your freedom at? And if the Negro don't have that white boy, he in trouble. He don't know how to eat. I'm finna leave planet Earth, but I hate leaving and knowing that my people will never be free. And it's getting worse and worse instead of better and better.
All right, Shalom. There's a brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwad, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name. Rakah is spirit. Kodash is holy. Akyam is brothers. Akwat is sisters. Shalom means peace. And Yashar Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. This is Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. And it reads, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life, give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. All right, now I want to go into a lesson inspired by the clips that you saw, all right, from a guy that's associated with Charleston White. Charleston White considers him a mentor, you know, and you got to spit out the bones and eat the meat, you know, when you watch that interview. But one thing that stuck out to me was these parts of that interview, amongst others, but for the sake of this lesson through the Spirit, I want to put those clips in because that's the reality, you know, that we're not free. This isn't our land. We don't have sovereignty, you know. And for a lot of our people, it takes them getting to an old age to realize that the real reason of our captivity isn't because we're ignorant. It isn't because of our economics. All right, it's because the Lord did it to us. You know, and the Lord has given us every situation and circumstance to show us that it's not money. It's not military. You know, while he was saying that, I was thinking about the fact that you think about the Black Panthers, right? Men who spent their whole life dedicated to a program of building up the community. You know, they dedicated their life to trying to uplift the community some other way. You know, you think about the civil rights movement. All of those people who sat in at those restaurants. Because it wasn't just Martin Luther King, it was an entire movement. Dedicated their lives to being free just to find out that none of those ways would get us out of this situation. None of those efforts would get us out. Because ultimately, we offended the Lord. That's why we have to bear the indignation of the Lord. All right, real quick, this is Isaiah 42 and 24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil, and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. And because of that, we have to wax old in our enemy's land, man. You know, one of the things that really stuck out to me in that clip was he was saying that it hurt him that he gonna leave this earth and we still gonna be in this position as a nation of people. And we're closer than ever to getting out of here, but because our people don't have that same hope, they're willing to settle for this and they just make the best of their life. But in the back of their mind, they think the same way. Especially when they get to the age of this guy right here. You know, for brothers who still had their grandmamas around, you talk to your grandmama who actually lived through the civil rights era. They know more than anybody that we're not free. But why is that? Why? Why are we in our enemy's land? Why are we waxing old in our enemy's land? And this is the Lord asking us a rhetorical question thousands of years before we landed here. Why are we subject to payments? Why do we sow much and bring in little? Why is our reputation tarnished? Why do we not have control of our narrative? You know, and this guy mentioned it, like we're not free. And at the same time, it hurts him to think, and you know what, let's get this. Because when you think as a nation of people, it forces you to deal with the reality. When you think in your own little bubble, you got a whole bunch of hope, a whole bunch of optimism. Because you think it's not that hard for you to pull your situation out of the mud. But when you look at us as a whole, the plot gets dark. All right, this is Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. All right, and once the Lord opens up your eyes and gives you the vision, you start to understand the reality of our situation. That this ain't our rest. And it's the Lord ultimately telling us that. When you really sit back and think about it, it's really Yahweh Shema Shah telling us, like, you're not going to come home? And for 2/3 of our people, the answer is no. They don't want to come home. And that's why they must be destroyed. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 1:17. And it reads, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief. And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. And this is why people don't want knowledge. They don't want knowledge or wisdom. Because it breeds sorrow, because you realize the reality of our situation. You realize that we're not actually free. And whatever privileges you have, whatever success you make, it doesn't move the needle for us as a nation of people. And when I heard this guy say the last part of this clip, you know, the idea of being able of leaving Earth and knowing that we still in this condition, it's vexing, man. And this is why the gospel is so important through the Spirit, man. All right, because the gospel brings comfort. You know, the gospel reminds us that there's hope, that we won't be in this condition forever. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. And as a nation of people, we're bound, man. You know, our people so locked into their own personal journey that they forget we're a whole nation of people, man. We're a whole nation of people living under another nation of people, having to answer to another nation of people. When you increase in knowledge and wisdom, you understand that. And it brings a certain level of sorrow and grief, but then the scriptures are there to comfort us, to remind us we won't be in this place forever. You know, because when you hear an elder brother like that talk, you know, it's a reminder, it's a sobering reminder that he spent his entire lifetime, like we have thus far, in captivity. And then you think about Jake and chattel slavery, even the idea of being able to go somewhere you want to go was a foreign idea. Because they literally were born, worked the fields, and died. This is a little better than that, but it's still captivity. It doesn't change the fact that we're still bound, man. All right, and this is why the Lord is coming to redeem. Matter of fact, Isaiah 19, let's get it. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and 19. Beautiful. And in that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors. And he shall send them a Savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. And this is why we have to wait on Yahweh Shema Shah, because he's going to get the credit. We're not going to get the credit of being delivered. The Lord gets the credit. Just like in Egypt. Egypt was the worst case scenario for us. There was no getting out of that. There was no fighting your way out of Egypt. The Egyptians were stronger than us. We needed the Lord to save us out of that. And this is why scriptures talk about this Exodus being greater than that one. Because again, we done found ourselves in the worst case scenario, and we need the Lord to save us out of this. You know, but to that guy's point, while we are in captivity, you know, while we are waxing old in our enemy's land, at the same time, the Lord has brought us comfort. This is why we watch prophecy so closely through the Spirit, because it tells us how close we are to getting out of here. It gives us the time, roughly. You know, we don't know the day or the hour, but we can read the signs of the times and tell how close we are to being freed from this. All right, as a matter of fact, let me go to Jeremiah 31 real quick, and I'll end it on this one, Lord willing. This is Jeremiah chapter 31. I want to start around 8. No, I'll jump down. So this is Jeremiah 31 and 10. And it reads, "Hear the word of the Lord, O ye nations, and declare in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock." And that's what, beginning with our apostles on down, the proclamation is, that the Lord is going to deliver his people, beginning with the elect. That salvation is coming to the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. And the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus is coming to save his people, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The one nation of people who the world doesn't think will ever get out of this mess. And the Lord's going to get all the credit for that. This is why the Black Panthers didn't work, Civil Rights Movement didn't work, Fruit of Islam didn't work, Nation of Islam didn't work, Moors didn't work, because the Lord's going to get that credit. All right, continuing at verse 11, here's the point. "For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he." And that's exactly what the Lord is doing, man. You know, and when I thought about, when I read, you know, when I watched those clips, it really made me think about the fact that the Lord has given us a greater hope. Because a lot of our people have just given up. You know, a lot of our people have just given up and checked out on sovereignty. So at this point, they're just willing to take whatever Esau give them. But the Lord has another idea for us, another expectation for us as a nation of people, but beginning with the elect. That's why on this side, it's only about the elect, because only the elect are going to have the mind to follow Yahweh Shema Shah. They're going to be that poor and afflicted people who trust in the Lord. 2/3 of our people are poor and afflicted, but they trust in Esau. All right. As a matter of fact, since I'm in Jeremiah, this is Jeremiah 29 and 11. And it reads, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." All right. Because one day, this is going to be an afterthought, man. Being in captivity is going to be an afterthought. You know, because as vexing as it is to see us in this condition, we're going to look back at this time and laugh. I keep saying it's going to be the last precept. Lord willing, this is going to be the last one. I got to get this. This is Psalms 126, and I'll start at the top. Psalms 126 and 1 reads, "When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue was singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them." Because the world is going to witness the Lord take us from being niggas in America to Israelites in our glory. Lord willing, we be a part of that number, beginning with the elect. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Aquas who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.